I know it's not an easy job. I definitely don't want to be sitting where you guys are sitting. I'd like to stay this side so I complain. But we do really appreciate what you're doing, and I know sometimes this happens. We definitely have to come out, criticize, and complain. It happens. One of the things that I wanted to address is something that someone said you mentioned. I don't know if he has been answered. I am the producer and director of The Office. It's a TV series. We had a nomination list come out first, and I had 4 of my cast nominated. And on the nomination night, they were not mentioned. But however, the nomination list is still on the UFF, UCC, social media platforms and everything else. I personally had not seen it, but one of my actors told me, yeah, we were nominated, so we have to celebrate. And a couple of days later, they said another nomination list came out. And 4 of them had been, should I say, scrapped off? But now 4. I had Best Actor, 2 Best Actors in a TV series, and 2 Best Actresses in a TV series, same TV series. And sorry to say it's not a sad story, it's an office series, so I'm talking about the life of the people in the office. So I tried to call people at the UCC to have an explanation. I didn't really get an explanation. The only explanation I got was the graphics designer made a mistake. And I kept on wondering, how does the graphics designer, how I spell, know that there is a series called The Office, unless that list comes from the jury or UCC itself to the graphics designer? How does he know that Cristiano Okitwi is a main actor? He could be a support actor, he could be a runner, but how does he know that this was he was an actor? So I didn't really get an explanation on that, and I would really like you guys to shed more light on that, because I'm normally a happy person. I'm still not happy because I didn't get an explanation. Probably when you give me an explanation, that way I can always sit back and say, okay, I can try next year. And it is still something that I fail to answer as a director to my actors, because they keep getting back to me. So Mona, what happened? What did they say? And I still tell them no, I still have no answer. The second thing is, I wanted you guys again to shed more light on the Viewers' Choice Award. For me, I would like to know, does the Viewers' Choice Award go to the most viewed film in the nominations? Or there was a time I was with a film, and we were talking about a film that had made waves in Uganda. Everyone was talking about this film. I don't know if filmmakers were talking about the same, but he's a filmmaker, and we were talking about the same film. It's called Babylon. It's a TV series that aired on Top TV. I think it's been running for about 2 years. Everyone in this country has spoken about this film, has watched it. Downtown, uptown, and we were talking about it, and Phil was asking, I want to talk to this guy to tell me what is it that he's doing, that his film is being talked about in Uganda, that we are not doing, that we're not getting to know about, our films are not getting the kind of viewership that he is getting. And when you watch the film, it doesn't have the best cinematography, I would say, but it's a good Ugandan story. It's a story that Ugandans relate to, and it is not anywhere in the Viewers' Choice Award. So my question is, does the Viewers' Choice Award, does it only work with the films that were nominated, or do we go back to the roots and see that there is a film that almost everyone is talking about, everyone has watched? Like I'm telling you, it is not good cinematically, but you watch, you go uptown, downtown, middletown, every town, they're talking about this film. But this film is not anywhere on the nomination list. The other thing maybe, lastly, I think I would like to agree with Madame Cindy concerning the language that we speak. We as filmmakers, we speak about this. I am very sure we go back and we speak, Jeff, why are we faking accents? Really, why do we have to fake an English accent? Don't Ugandanize it, okay, don't Ugandanize it and speak. That's okay, like how Nigerians speak. But if you're going to speak English, speak English. You know, don't fake it, don't. Thank you.
Basically for the audience out there, and we are out of it. Whatever trick you do to get people to watch your film and appreciate your film is really up to you. Whatever they find out there that is exciting is really down to them. They have their own thing going. And you were talking about what it is that made that film so special, and you answered yourself when you said the story is catchy. There you go. It doesn't have to be cinematography. As long as you can hear it and follow it, and people can relate, there you go. You know, my friend Richard is good at getting people watching his films in cinemas, and better than anyone I know in the industry. It's true. So he's really good at getting people there, and I think he picked something from there. The US Series Award at some point. So it's really your metrics, the ingredients you put in to get people there. Just get many people in there, and we are really out of it. And the lady, you get her name. She mentioned about the questions you asked. Your question for comment 3, which was research, answered your question 2, which was, why is it that people do these things where you find the security guard is going to time us? Hey, you, what are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. It's a lack of enough research to answer those nitty-gritty things that keep coming up again and again in film. And I'll be absolutely frank with you, I hate it. I hate it with a passion, and you've never seen any of that in my films. It's the same thing that we see and hear, that we listen to on radio. I did write something about this once in one of the dailies, the papers. Why do all these companies, the MTNs, Airtels, typecast and start dissecting our society into the people from the west are the rich ones, the people from the north are the security guards, and the poor ones. It is so dividing in it's so annoying that sometimes you just want to, go to the else and just pull the plug. And I'm hoping they're changing this, but it has been ongoing for the longest time I know. And this is how we start defining ourselves as a society. When people out there start looking at the way they'll also start identifying this group of people who seem to be low and then the poor ones. And then there are these other people with long nose being the rich ones. The outside one will start, defining our fields through that, what we put out to them. So it spoils us, even when we don't have a particular identity as filmmakers. The most obvious, like you would see the Indian Bollywood where they have to sing certain things, you never see them nude. But here we have sex, ravaging in the films, we have so much F words, profanity being used every now and again. And you ask yourself, where is the identity? And we have that.
For me, the gentleman who talked about that, yes, I'm glad he's back here and disappeared. Now, I need you to understand that as judges, we judge what we have been given. Yes? We are not going to judge what we have not been given. You might find that we don't like some of the stories that we have been given, but it is our responsibility to judge what has been given. So if you keep on giving us the sad stories, it doesn't mean that we like them, but that is what you have given us. So it is upon you guys to say, look, we can tell fantastic stories that don't have to be sad. In fact, I would like you to be one of the advocates and say, for me, I am going to step up, and I'm going to get some other people, and I'm going to convince them. I feel very sad that most of the time we put ourselves down as Ugandans. Let me tell you, some of you, I'm sure, have traveled. You have gone to America, you have gone to all these places. They have issues. They have beggars. In America, the beggars walk around with these carts, or these, what are they called? These supermarket carts. But how many times do you see that in the American movies? They try to be aspirational. They try to show how powerful they are. They try to do this. But for us, we want to tell the world out there, for us, we are the poorest. We are the ones who rape our wives. Women, we are the ones who are all the bad things. That is on you. That is not on us, the judges. Yeah. I'll tell you, there are times where we have almost refused to judge, and we have been told, judge what you have. I'll tell you, there's a year we decided not to give an award, and UCC came down on us and said, look, for us, our interest is to develop film. So even if it is the worst, look for the best of the worst and give us that. Yeah. So you also need to understand some of those things. Me, I have been with this festival from the word go. Even the rules, some of them are among the people who wrote the rules. So when I hear people talking about Philip Luswata being nominated, I laugh. There's nowhere in the rules that say he cannot be nominated. The only thing that is in the rules is what they call conflict of interest. And the rule says that if a jury member has a conflict of interest in a certain movie, they withdraw themselves from judging that movie. Yeah, they recuse themselves. That's the word you use, whatever the word is. So, I can assure you, Phil Luswata had no idea he was nominated. Yeah. He was not even among the jury who nominated him. And we stand by our nomination, by the way, we are not going to pull it out. He at one time even said, maybe pull me out, and we said no. Because that is setting a very dangerous precedent. If you, the members, decide now to go to UCC and say, put a new rule, judges are not allowed to be nominated, and it is included, next year we will not. But as of now, there is no rule that stops him from saying opinions. There was one other thing I wanted to say, but now I have lost my track.
Maybe while you give the mic to the lady, there are always in-house rules on how to deal with issues. Many judges have some sort of conflict. First of all, we sign up to non-conflict, and then we also have internal rules, and we remove the person from that particular, from scoring that particular production, or we let them score, because we believe that they are very hard to object. However,
Kevin Jones Kenya, the producer. The whale. So I want to first thank UCC for putting up this kind of arrangement. It's really helpful. My issue is one, but before going to it, I want to first take in the Chief Judge's apology, because I was one of the affected nominees. My sound designer was nominated, and 2 days later, we lost the nomination. So I want to take in the apology. My issue is about the feature film category, best feature. I have a film on that category, but I'm still wondering, on what grounds do films make it to that category? My film is not nominated, it has no roots, it's not nominated in most of the categories. It's not fun, I must say. Somewhere it's swimming, it has no best director, it has no cinematography or anything, but it's on the best feature all of a sudden. So I really want to be educated on how films make it to that category. Thank you so much.
I would like to take one last question. We'll need to give opportunity to the media, also to the judges.
Well, I can bring them. I've not been settled in my seat until I got this mic to speak. My name is Douglas Miranda, a filmmaker and a film media. For my case, I'm not very, very eloquent, so I usually note down what I want to say, and I read it out. So there are some things that have already been addressed, but I beg to be listened to. I'm going to repeat them, but at last my point shall be made. Thank you. So I'll start by saying, although Oliver has spoken objectively, I think his tone and disappointment represents a filmmaker who made their film targeting UFF. So, such filmmakers do exist. And I think this is UFF trying to eradicate that. And you're hurting their feelings, their strategies, and their definition of success in the Uganda film industry. I'm talking about those who make films targeting UFF. So I'll start my point by saying, in film, we don't communicate the same way. Some communicate lessons and advice, and others are going to show you the problem, and it's upon you to do something about it. An example of a film is Don't Look Up on Netflix. It features Leonardo DiCaprio. This film puts the problem in your face. They're not telling you to do anything, but you know you have to do something, you have to change something. And I personally believe that we should tell more stories, such as Don't Look Up, using that technique of communication and storytelling. The whole film is merely a rhetorical question for those who have watched it. At this point, this has already been addressed, at this point I think we need UFF to give us a theme that we must cover for each competition, because from what I've heard from the jury, it seems like they wanted us to tell the same kinds of stories. That has already been addressed. So let's talk traditional stories. Let's talk traditional stories being the core of submissions. From how the lady put it looks like a problem. Submitting traditional stories doesn't mean stories. It looks like a problem, but the filmmakers, it looks like a problem among the filmmakers. But I think this is filmmakers trying to define the types of films that win at UFF when they submit such stories. And on that my question is there any type of movies that UFF objectively considers the moment they see, the way they are made, and what they are about? Because there's such a structure at the Oscars where certain blockbusters have no chance.